All right, so Booker, let's talk a little bit about putting the lawn to rest for the winter. And we have some questions for you, okay?
Okay.
So here's the first question. What do I need to do to get my warm season grass ready for the winter?
One of the things Dr. Chris needs to do now is check your grass out to see what problem you had this summer. So you had in the low spots, in the brown spots in there, and try to control and fix those spots. It could be you had a tree begin to shade it out. Mm-hmm. If you need to remove some of the limbs off there and get more sun down to that, you might want to do that in the fall of the year. It'll be a good time to prune trees.
Okay.
And just look over your landscape now and see how your grass look. You might need to re-sod or add some sod. It's a good time to do that now.
Okay, so you can add sod pretty much anytime, right?
Anytime you add sod, you can't sow seeds now.
Right, right. Okay. When should I stop fertilizing my lawn for the summer? And again, we're talking about warm season lawns, right?
Warm season grass,
zoysia,
Bermuda grass.
Okay.
One of the things about fertilizing your lawn, it's normally based on a soil test for your phosphorus and potassium. But nitrogen fertilizer on a warm season grass, you probably want to stop probably somewhere close around the last of September.
Okay.
Be a good time to do that because you don't want to get no new growth in September because it could have an early frost and damage their grass. Then you'll be wondering next year why my grass not coming out so soon because it would damage going into the springtime in the fall because you gave some nitrogen fertilizer. But hold back on your nitrogen fertilizer probably somewhere close around the last of September. But phosphorus and potassium based on a soil test because they can build up in the soil. And stay there for a period of time, and nitrogen just leaches itself out of the soil, but it can't give that flush growth, and you don't want to have that growth now, because you never know in West Tennessee when the weather gonna come in strong, cold, whatever it's gonna do.
Yeah, that's always hard to tell.
Hard to tell, yeah.
What about if you had a fescue lawn, though? Could you fertilize your fescue lawn?
Well, fescue is fescue part of cool season grass. It started growing probably in September and October, November. This would be a good time to add fertilizer to your fescue lawn now. Just a good time to do that, because it just began to grow now. A lot of times you've been sitting still all summer long. You see that now it begin to pick up. And I got some bluegrass at the office, and our turf plot, it begin to show some sign of growth now.
Okay.
But all summer long, it been kind of like dormant.
Right.
That's because it's a cool season grass.
Right. Cool season grass, yeah, and these are hot summers.
Hot summer,
here,
hot summer. But it's just excited now. It's finna do some work itself now. It's finna start growing.
It's about to come on in.
It's finna come on in now, yeah.
All right. Now, is it too late to de-thatch the lawn? And what do we mean by de-thatch first?
A lot of times we have compact soil.
Okay.
You want to go in there and loosen that soil up some. You can rent a machine and run across that grass and loosen that soil up. But that soil can breathe better. A lot of times our soil need to breathe in there because those root systems get compact down in there. Ain't no air getting down in there, so you need to loosen that soil up sometime. So for your warm season grass, I wouldn't do it now. Because you're getting ready to go to sleep. Like you said, when you're ready to go to sleep, you're getting to go rest now. But for your fescue lawn, it's just getting ready to grow now. You can de-thatch that right now. And you want to walk across your lawn, just look at it, and see what's going on with it. You know, where you had a lot of traffic on there, a lot of compact areas in there. You can tell that by looking at it sometimes, but you haven't done a lot of last 3 or 4 years. This would be a good time to go rent you a thatch, or you can buy one and de-thatch that lawn. And you'll see a big difference in that too. When you do thatch that grass, you get water down to the root system, fertilizer down to the root system, all the things you add to the lawn to get it in there. I did mine a couple of years ago, and it's really,
You can tell the difference?
Tell the difference.
Okay. Do you have to use a de-thatcher? Can you use like a hard rake or something like that? Or?
Well, no, you got a small area or something like that. If I got a small area, I might use a rake or something like that, a garden rake or something to rake off there and trying to loosen it up some. But if I got a large area,
it'd be best to rent one.
For the time's sake, you might want to rent you one there in there. And check with your neighbor sometimes. Y'all might can do it together. If you got a warm, cool season grass.
That's a good suggestion.
So they might want to let's do this together and that's our line.
Okay. All right, so this next question is one a lot of people are going to want to know. When should I put down a pre-emerge?
Okay, now
in my lawn, because of course, those winter weeds are going to be coming. Your henbit, your chickweed, right? Your dead nettle.
I don't know about you, Dr. Chris. I hate weeds. Weeds. I
actually like weeds.
I like weeds. But when you see that lawn, they get them weeds in there, you can tell because weeds don't how to grow your grass.
Right.
When you see a pre-emerge, you put something down before the weed begin to germinate. Before they germinate. Probably about the last of September be a good time to do that too. So going to October, put it down there, and most pre-emerge herbicide probably need to be watered into the lawn over a period of time. And I try to watch the weather. When they say it's going to rain, then I try to put it down then for to get into the soil, get down to the root system. And when doing a pre-emerge, you must cover the whole entire area. You may go up and down crossway and always read the label. Tell them before you get a complete cover there. And to keep those weeds from germinating in the springtime, and also don't want a weed from germinating. And sometimes, if you haven't did it in a period of time, you might not get all your weeds this time. Some might be got through there, but put that pre-emerge down, we help control all those weeds. You can see the difference in the summertime.
What's a good pre-emerge that you would suggest?
Maybe something like dimension or a snapshot or something that you can do that, use that around in there.
Okay.
Read the label, tell me to put down at a certain time, and then how much to put down. And if I put it down this way, I probably put half going one way and half going the other way. Make sure I get a complete cover on that the pre-emerge.
Right, and Mr. D did demonstrate that for us before, how to do that.
Oh, yeah,
so,
that's good then, yeah.
And it's usually on the label of directions.
On the label of directions,
well.
yeah.
Okay, but yeah, make sure you get that watered in, and those pre-emergent herbicides will help control poana.
Oh
as
man,
well. We know how tough poana can be.
Man, that poana in my yard, man. Ooh, rough.
It is tough. All right, so how low should I cut my warm season grass for winter to keep it from being damaged?
We get that call all the time though.
Okay.
People want to. It's going to one of months. How low should I cut my grass to make sure that it still do well? Some folks want to cut it real low. Okay. I like to keep mine at the same height that I was cutting it during the regular time.
All right.
If it's a 2.5 inch tall, I want to keep it that same height in there, because you want to try to protect those root system from the cold weather. If you have a hard freeze, protect those root system. Another thing about cutting your grass low now, people don't realize this though. Your root system is still active.
That's right.
Just because the grass done turned brown and dormant in that, that's because the temperature did that.
Right.
But those root systems are very still active in the soil. If you need to, we go through a real dry period now. You might need to water that lawn sometime. I know you might look fun out there in November and things, but to make sure your lawn come back real strong in the summertime, you need to take care of that during the winter months. Something we just need to do during the winter time, people don't realize, but to keep that grass looking good.
Okay. And speaking of watering, so of course we have to water our lawns, right, in the wintertime.
And do that. So like people want to put things up, put the water hoses and things up, but you might get them out there and do that, water that grass in the wintertime and stuff in there.
Okay.
But that's very rare though, but it could happen sometime.
All right, good stuff, man.
Thanks.
All right, so we'll see about putting that lawn to rest, right?
So
we can get some rest, right?
I need some rest.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Boogie. We appreciate that. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please click the subscribe button below.